I can't believe I was at a party in downtown Chico and one of my friends actually got stabbed.
Chico is a small town, and Chico State is a small school. So, what you'd expect is that Chico is a pretty safe place. But you have to remember, Chico is a college town, and Chico State is known as a party college. So when somebody gets stabbed at a college party on a Thursday night, what does that mean for Chico? Between 2015 and 2017, the violent crime rate in Chico has spiked 31%, according to the Chico Police Department. The concerning part is that many of these violent crimes are happening in downtown Chico, a place where students feel they can go to party without a worry in the world. On Thursday, October 4th, there was a brawl and a stabbing in downtown Chico, right in the heart of House Party Central, Ivy Street. I talked with Blake Jacobs and Lucas Kiff, two Chico State students who just happened to be at the party when the incident occurred.
It was Thursday night, and we just had a normal party, and all of a sudden, a bunch of guys we didn't know walked up.
The group of guys showed up to our gate, apparently asking to get let in. We close off parties to people we don't know, usually just because it's the danger of it.
And we just weren't going to let them in, and then...
I know there was some back and forth talk. It was probably later in the night, so people had been drinking a little bit.
And some girl walked by saying something, and the guy reached over the fence and swung at the chick.
Apparently, one of the guys outside of our party pushed or sort of swung at a girl inside, and then immediately it sort of erupted from there.
So obviously a bunch of the guys didn't like that and retaliated and just kind of went outside the gate, and everyone just kind of just everyone started swinging, and it was like a big brawl for a little bit. And then
one of my friends, Scott, took some guy to the ground, and next thing he knows, he's grabbing his leg, and he had been stabbed, I think once or twice.
All of a sudden, one of our buddies was just back at the party with his a huge stab wound in his thigh, and it was just spitting blood everywhere. And he wasn't even realizing what was happening. He was kind of in shock, just adrenaline going.
Yeah, I was freaking out. There was just a lot of commotion.
Just called the ambulance. They blocked off the whole street.
They ended up going and getting the guy's license plate number and reported him.
Would you expect something like this to happen in downtown Chico?
Not really, but now it's happening more often, so I don't know.
I really wasn't expecting it.
Normally, going out to parties with a group of guys, it's always safe.
I mean, it's downtown Chico. The vibe in Chico is definitely more of a smaller town community.
You just never know what's gonna happen now.
Chico State students simply aren't expecting violence to happen in downtown Chico. But does this make students more prone to violence? If you aren't expecting violence, you can't do much to prevent it. In 2017, former Chico State student Matt Leontis had something extremely unexpected happen to him that would end up changing his life.
Hey guys, my name's Matt Leontis, and I graduated in May of 2018, and I was assaulted on 8th and Ivy in September of 2017. We were walking home from Riley's, and we got jumped by a group of thugs, 8 of them to be exact. I woke up in a hospital, and I thought I just had too much fun because my last memory was being at Riley's. Turns out I got jumped, and in the process, my skull cracked, and I had severe internal bleeding in my brain, otherwise known as a traumatic brain injury. My skull cracked in a region that cut my auditory nerve in half, so I'm permanently deaf in my right ear. When that happens, your brain creates a noise, a phantom noise, and when you have it as bad as I do, it creates a phantom feeling. So my ear is in a constant state of pain, and I never get to experience silence. It's hard to sleep, it's hard to focus, it's hard to hear. I don't really listen to music anymore. I then saw the LA Rams concussion specialist and the LA Kings official neurologist. I'm very thankful that my insurance covered a lot of that. And they told me that I'm lucky to be alive. And then they also just told me that what happened to me could be much worse. To fast forward, we tried getting in touch with Chico State, and they didn't want to spread my word at all. When you get those emails saying so-and-so got assaulted in this region at this time and this is what happened, none of that for me. When we asked why, we didn't get an answer. So it really makes you think, how many other kids that things like this have happened to that we don't hear about. So that's a very serious issue, obviously. I think my freshman year, there were 8 deaths, and the violence in Chico is something that is just really not talked about enough. And a common misconception is that it only happens in the Avs, but my situation happened on Ivy. So just be careful and look out for your friends and just spread the word that a lot of this stuff doesn't get talked about.
No one knows why the university wouldn't say anything about what happened to Matt. But it's easy to assume that they didn't say anything because they didn't want to scare off potential students and hurt enrollment. But keeping our current students informed keeps them safe. So what's more important? Students' safety or the university's image?